Let's imagine you just started a logistics company. And you have a fleet of trucks and customers are dropping off your packages all day long. But here's the catch. You have a limited budget, so you don't have a warehouse. That means when the package arrives, you have to load it onto a truck immediately. You cannot store it in a warehouse. Also, each package has a deadline. That means when the package's deadline hits, that truck must leave for delivery immediately. Okay? Now here's the problem. You don't know if a massive, perfectly sized package is going to arrive in, say, 5 minutes from now. If you send a half-empty truck away right now, you're wasting money. But if you wait too long, you'll miss the deadline for other packages. Okay? This is what we call an online bin packing with deadlines. Basically, the core difficulty here is that you cannot see the future. In our research, we asked, is it possible to design a strategy for an algorithm that makes good decisions without knowing what's coming next? Okay, to measure this, we use what we call a competitive ratio. Basically, we compare ourselves against a all-knowing God. That is an optimal algorithm that knows the entire future. So for example, if God uses 10 trucks for some packages and my strategy uses 20 trucks for those packages, then my ratio is 2. And obviously we want this ratio to be as small as possible. And so in other words, we want to be as close to God as we can get. Okay, now here's some bad news, also some good news. Let's talk about the bad news first. We proved a general lower bound of 2, which is a fascinating result. This means that as long as we cannot see the future, no strategy in this universe can beat this number, even if you are the smartest human or if you have a supercomputer. Simply not knowing the future forces us to do at least twice as inefficient as the optimal solution. Okay, and now let's talk about the good news. We also analyzed other algorithms, like, for example, next fit and first fit. We proved that although we cannot do better than 2, but we can actually get pretty close. So we found out, for example, the first fit algorithm guarantees you we will never do worse than 2.75, the optimal. So it's sort of like a ceiling for how bad we can do. And this is huge for industries like logistics or cloud computing. This tells the companies don't waste money trying to be perfect. It's impossible. But if you use this algorithm, you have a sort of safety guarantee so that your costs won't just explode. And to wrap it up, I'd like to share what I personally enjoy the most about this problem. So we humans are finite beings. We have limited time and we have limited memory. And yet, using mathematics, we can reason about really an infinite number of possibilities. You see, we didn't just say, oh, let's just focus on like these 100 deliberately selected special cases, or we didn't also say just like, oh, let's just look at like these 1,000 scenarios. We really proved our results hold for every possible scenario that could occur. Okay? And we show that there's a hard limit, and we built algorithms that got us pretty close to that limit, right? 2.75 is pretty close to 2. So I personally found that there's some beauty in finding the limits of our universe and then trying our best within that. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
So how does this compare to that used by, let's say, UPS? Is it totally new, or how does it compare with the system that we use this by UPS or
Like FedEx company?
Yeah, FedEx.
Yeah, so usually
Different.
Yeah, usually those big companies, they have a warehouse,
Yeah.
right? And here in our model, we don't have a warehouse.
Okay.
So our assumption is that you're a startup, you're kind of poor, you don't have a warehouse.
Like local.
Yeah, like you're just starting out. So we don't have a warehouse, but we show that we can still do pretty decently.
Not a greedy approach to
Yes, it is possible. Yeah, it is possible to have a non-greedy approach, but it does not perform as well. At least the known algorithms, they do not perform as well as these greedy algorithms. Yeah, so that's why we didn't include them here.